friends, and welcome to today's yoga session. I thought since Friday, June the 5th was lunar eclipse, it's a good opportunity to dedicate this practice to the moon, Chandra in Sanskrit. And I'll tell you more about the theme and what we're going to do once you're in the first posture. So let's get straight to it. But before we start, I'd like you to make sure you have a block or a book for later in the practice. So just before you get all comfy on the mat, get something like that. And then any other props that you need, you know, your bolsters, cushions, blankets, maybe an eye pillow at the end for your shavasana. Anything you need, anything you like, but definitely a block or a thick book. Dictionaries are great for this. One will be enough, but if you want two, that's absolutely fine as well. Okay, and now when you're ready, let's just start a traditional shavasana actually. Find your version of shavasana, your variation. I'll just be on my back with my feet turning out to the sides and hands open to the sides as well. Nothing is touching my body, and I can just close my eyes because it feels good and start tuning into my body. Wherever you are today, whatever you have done before, you might be doing this practice in the morning, in the afternoon, maybe even on your lunch break or later in the evening. So just try to let go of any of those thoughts, to-do lists, and really enjoy this present moment and the next 30, 40 minutes or however long we're going to be doing this practice for. Just this is your time. Everything else can wait. The world can wait. If this is, by the way, uncomfortable for any reason, for your lower back, let's say, you can always go to semi-supine, bring your knees together, or take any other posture on your front, on your belly, on the side, and just start bringing attention to your breath. Just notice where the breath enters your body, how it moves from your belly to the rib cage, and then to the thoracic spine, your heart center, your chest. Maybe you can feel your collarbones lifting up ever so slightly on the inhalation. And then you can sense into your belly dropping down on the exhalation. And if it helps to reconnect with your breath, with your body, feel free to move your hands from your belly and spend some time in the area, just noticing the breathing pattern that you have right now. And then you can take your hands out to the sides, to your rib cage, and see if you can feel your breath there more strongly or less compared to your belly. And then finally, you may wish to bring your hands to your chest. You can move between those parts of the body or keep your hands anywhere else where it feels good right now. If you come into this from a busy day with busy thoughts, just see if you could slow down your breath, because that will trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, your relax and digest mode, and it will just help you arrive in your body, on the mat, in this present moment. The first shape I would like us to take is Ardha Chandrasana, which is half moon, but you may know it better by the term Bananasana or banana shape. So head. And then we'll start with our right side. So you'll just move your feet towards the right side of the mat, and you will move your hands that are outstretched behind you, if that's okay for your shoulder. If not, maybe place a folded blanket underneath it so your shoulder can relax and be on the mat or touching something. And then if you wish, and you don't have to go straight there, but you could also bring your left leg on top. That would feel a bit stronger, more of a stretch, but make sure that your sit bones are still on the mat. And you can also get hold of your left wrist with your right wrist and hold on to it if you wish. The other option would be with your hands to get hold of the opposite elbow, or if you feel tightness in your shoulders today, just keep your elbows bent. It's absolutely fine, but just focus on this banana shape opening through the left side of your body. And stay where you are, please, in your banana, and I'm just going to talk to you, as I promised, tell you a little bit more about today's theme. So, moon eclipse always brings some transformation and big changes, even turmoil, and with what's going on in the world right now, you couldn't agree less for it to be true. But changes can be also positive, and today in this practice I would really like us to focus on some changes that either happened to you in the past couple of months, or maybe some small changes that you would like to bring into your life. It could be something absolutely tiny, changes to your routine, your dress code, the way you walk, the way you talk, or it can be something bigger, deeper, on a grander scheme of things. Just have a think about it, and we'll come back to it shortly when you can set it as an intention for what changes you would like to see. It could be even just a change in your breathing pattern during this practice, and that's absolutely fine. Now, slowly and mindfully, just move to the center of your mat. Pause there, notice the effects of this posture on your body. And then when you're ready, slide over to your left side. So your feet are on the left side of your mat and your hands are out and above your head with the shoulders, both shoulders on the mat, or folded blanket underneath your right shoulder if it needs some support, and just relax into it. We'll be here for a few minutes at least, so it's like a yin pose, so you need to be comfy. Just breathe into the space on the right side of your body, creating openness with this Supta Ardha Chandrasana shape, the reclining half moon. Take any variation of the hands that is good for you as well. And just stay there and breathe and relax. So you're all familiar with sun salutations by now, I'm sure, but there's also such thing as moon salutation, Chandra Namaskar. And there is more than one variation. So today I just selected some poses from different Chandra Namaskars that we're going to do. If you go to another class dedicated to moon salutations, you might be doing very different postures, and that's okay too. But it's just slightly different, and moon and the sun, it's like the yin and yang, and we have those in our bodies as well. So the left side of the body is the moon side. It's feminine, it's earthy, it's dark, it's calm and peaceful. The right side is the sun, it's Surya. It's active, dynamic, fiery, can also be angry and destructive. So we, all of us human beings, we all have that masculine and feminine, the yin and yang. And usually during the yoga practice, we're trying to find balance between those two and bring them together. So today we'll be, of course, focusing more on the moon side because of the moon eclipse the other day, and just because it's something we probably haven't done with you yet. So something different, something new, and just explore and see how it feels in your body. It will also be different energies, so I'm just curious to see if you would notice the difference and the effects that the practice has on you while you're doing it, or maybe later, maybe even the next day. So if you have any feedback later, do let me know. I always love hearing about your experiences and how you find it. Okay guys, so let's inhale to move back to center, slowly, mindfully as always. Bring your hands back down by your sides, by your hips, and now bend your knees, and this should be a familiar movement to you already if you've done my previous videos. We'll just start with tilting our pelvis, so it's a micro movement. All we're doing is this coccyx, the sacrum, coccyx at the end of the sacrum. We're just inhaling up and then exhaling and flattening on the mat. So gentle movements to just slowly warm up our spine. See how it feels. Maybe if you wanted to take it a bit deeper, more into the right sit bone and then left sit bone, you can do that as well. And then stay here if it feels good, or maybe inhale and lift your hips off the mat, and they can just come up a few inches or higher up into a full bridge, and then exhale to lower them down. So now moving with your own breath, slowly or more dynamically, whatever you need to do right now to let your body wake up, your spine, your hips, your pelvis. And why not invite shoulders in this body dance as well? So when we inhale our hips next time, we can also inhale our arms up and overhead. And when we exhale, we can bring the arms and the pelvis down. So inhaling and exhaling. If this feels good, you can only focus on the hips or on the shoulders. No need to do both, depending on the range of mobility of your shoulders today. It may not feel good to go all the way down, so you can just lift your arms up and flow them to the shoulder level, and that's okay too. Just find your rhythm, follow your breath, and maybe you can start sensing some moon energy, lunar energy, feminine energy, dark and calming and mysterious. See if you can sense it in your body. Lovely, guys. Come to stillness for me. When you're ready, feel free to take a few more rounds of the movements if your body so desires. And then roll over to one side, doesn't matter which one. Just trust your body and go to the side that's calling you right now. Curl into a ball and stay there. If you can keep your eyes closed, that would be absolutely amazing, because then you'll be going deeper within, but do what's right for you as always. And go back to that question I posed earlier about maybe some changes you would like to either honor that already occurred and that you're thankful for, or a change or changes, plural, that you would like to achieve, to see, to attempt, endeavor. And just set that as an intention for your practice and go back to it during it. So just planting a seed of intention, and then we'll water that seed with our thoughts, reinforcing it throughout the practice today. When you're ready, inhale and use your hands to help you lift up. And come to your cat-cow posture. So hands, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're in tabletop position on all fours. And when we inhale, we're bringing the chest forward, smiling through the collarbones, and our pelvis lifts as well. And as we exhale, we're rounding like a cat, belly button, trying to reach the back of your spine. And let's move with our own breath, slowly and mindfully, or more dynamically if you wish. But as I am currently feeling the moon energy, my movements are slow and deliberate because they feel really good for my body right now. But you listen to your body and modify as appropriate. And then from here, our usual circles with the hips. You can start in any direction. And maybe if you've done circles in one direction 4 times, we can switch it and do 4 circles in the other direction. Use your breath to move you. And then add your shoulders, add your thoracic spine. You can find any movements. Involve your neck, your head. Close your eyes if it feels good. The beauty of doing this at home is that you can completely let go of the ego. You don't need to see what your neighbor is doing in class next to you. It's just you and your body and your spirit. So tune into it. Keep moving, keep warming up your spine, your shoulders, your hips, your neck, your head. And then find some stillness. Sink back to child's pose. Either variation you like. I'm gonna open up my knees and bring my belly towards the mat. And then my forehead is on the mat. And I'm just noticing the effects of that gentle warm-up on my body. Please remember that child's pose is always available to you at any point of this practice or any other practice. If you need to take a rest, if your energy level is low, if you're just feeling tired, please take your child's pose and breathe. And there's nothing else you need to do. This is yoga. Brilliant, guys. When you're ready, come up and I'll invite you to sit on your sit bones. So it's a variation of hero's pose. And if you wish, you can bring something, a folded blanket or a cushion between your sit bones and your heels, because that creates even more length in your spine and it just might feel nice. It definitely feels nice for me, so I'm staying here. And then if this isn't very nice for you right now, take any other seated posture, Sukhasana, easy pose, or anything else where you can create the length through the spine. It is very important because we're going to do a pranayama, breathing exercise. So you need to make sure that your spine is nice and long. So the pranayama that I'd like to introduce to you today is called Nadi Shodhanam. Nadi is a passage of energy, of prana, of breath, and there are two nadis, either the left side, the moon, and Pingala, the right side, the sun. And in order to balance them out in the body, we use the alternating nostril breathing. Now again, you don't have to believe in nadis, in yoga philosophy, in energy or spirit. But if you study anatomy in detail, like I just did because I had my exam, and there's actually an anatomical explanation why the nostrils always alternate and will always feel kind of more breath traveling through one nostril and then the other. I won't bore you with the anatomical details, but if you wish to know, just contact me and I'll let you know all about it. So we'll be using a mudra, that's the hand gesture. If it doesn't work for you, modify it as usual, but we bring the index finger and the middle finger to touch just this soft part underneath the thumb, and then we have our ring finger and little finger together and the thumb together, and we'll be switching, going from right nostril with the thumb and then the left nostril with the ring finger, the middle finger. It's very important that you use your right hand. In India, all auspicious rituals were performed with the right hand, and the left hand can just rest on the left knee, or maybe you can take another mudra, your thumb and your forefinger together if that feels good. Now, if your nostrils are blocked right now, and this is not an option because you can't breathe through one nostril, that's absolutely fine. But I would still invite you to breathe mindfully and just focus on one nostril and then the other, and it should have very similar effects. It's a bit more difficult to focus without actually blocking the nostril, but you can do it anyway. So give it a go. We're going to do a number of rounds together. You will follow your breath, I will follow mine, but we'll start together. So place your thumb of your right hand and gently close your right nostril. Exhale fully. Inhale through your left nostril, pause at the top, switch, and then close your left nostril. Exhale from your right nostril, feel the pause at the bottom. Inhale through your right nostril, close it, exhale through the left. Inhale through the left, pause if it's comfortable for you at the top. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. And keep going, following your own breath. Remember to keep your spine nice and long. And really try to focus on your breathing. Try to see if you can feel it entering your nostril and then exiting the other one. Enjoy the pause at the top and at the bottom of each exhalation and inhalation. And if it feels good and comfortable, you may try to start lengthening your exhalation, but only if you wish to try it. Otherwise, stay with equal in breath and breath out. And we will finish with exhaling through the right nostril. And now let go of the practice. Use a tissue if you need to. Well done for trying, whether it worked or not, but this is great for our parasympathetic nervous system. Any breathing exercises really bring attention and focus to your breath, and that helps slows everything down, so that's really great to do. And also just a quick note, for example, because like I explained, the left side is the moon, so it's calm and quiet. If you wanted to activate that side, if you want to come down before you go into bed, that's what you do. You would close the right nostril and just breathe for a while through your left nostril to engage with that side of your energy, and vice versa. If you wanted more fire, more heat, if you need to be dynamic, if you need to wake up, that's when you close with the right hand, close your left nostril and just breathe through your right nostril for a while. Usually it's 10 rounds for all of these. And those are 2 other techniques and pranayamas that we might attempt another day. Beautiful, guys. Let's come to all fours now. And just hands actually in front of you a little bit, because we're going to take our first downward dog. So on the inhalation, let's send the hips up into the air. Our feet are about hip width apart. Hands are about shoulder width apart. You can keep your knees bent as much as you need to, or you can start walking your dog by bending one knee and then the other. Like with all our other movements in this practice, try to do it slowly and mindfully. Try to really focus on that feminine lunar energy, calm and dark and mysterious. Lengthen through the crown of your head and send your chest towards the mat. Inhale, lift your toes up. Exhale and send your heels towards the mat. Relax your head, relax your neck, shake your head yes and no. Feel the strength through your arms and through your legs. And then start slowly walking your hands back to meet your feet at the end of your mat. So it's moon salutations, it's kind of the other way around. We're gonna go to the end of the mat and let go of any tension in the head and the neck. You're now in your Uttanasana, forward fold. Keep the softness in the knees. Then inhale halfway. So your hands are probably on your shins. The crown of your head is reaching forwards and your sit bones are going in the opposite direction. So maybe you can feel that energy between the crown of your head and your pelvis, just going out in 2 opposite directions, and you have your nice long spine in between. Exhale, let go of any effort. And as we inhale to come up, we're rooting through the feet and then rising, 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 rising. And bringing our hands through the heart center. And finally, opening up to our Tadasana or mountain pose. Just gonna make a quick adjustments for the poses that are coming up. So we're in Tadasana. feet hip width apart. Kneecaps lifted, thighs engaged. Neutral position for the pelvis. And the spine and the diaphragm. Softening the shoulders away from your ears. Eyes closed or open, whatever feels good. And from this pose, we're going to take Utthita Tadasana, which is extended mountain pose. So we still keep the engagement from the feet to the crown of the head, and we're going to take our hands and arms out and wide, shoulder height, and feet are going to be a little bit wider as well. So just wider than hip width apart, and you can turn your feet about 45 degrees out and just feel the strength. Now, just when we're in Ardha Uttanasana, our halfway lift, where I asked you to feel the energy going through your body from one side to the other, it's the same here. So your right and left, your sun and moon, just feel that energy going through you, through your feet, through your arms. It's an active posture. You can make it as active as you wish, or if you need to rest, just don't apply too much effort. Exhale to let go. Then inhale to bring your arms up and overhead, interlacing the fingers. Bring the feet now hip width apart again. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, go to your left side, opening through the right side of the body. Take a whole inhalation here and exhale. And then inhale to come back to center. Exhale to the other side. So now it's your left side that's opening and you're turning or bending towards your right. A full breath in here, and then inhale to come back up to center and release your hands. Maybe give your shoulders a little roll if that's what they need right now. Now, what we did at the start with our banana shape, working on both sides, opening equally through right and left, and then with our alternated nostrils, we're trying just to bring some balance into our body between those two antagonists, the sun and the moon. And now let's test our balance. Let's see if those exercises, those practices helped us to come into a balancing posture. So we'll inhale our arms up, and then you may stay here, or you may wish to lift up on your tiptoes. It always helps if you find a drishti point, so something for your gaze to focus on. And stay here, bring your heels down at any point if you need to, or if it's okay, start exhaling and sinking down into a squat variation, and see how low you can go. Bring your hands down, and then place your hands just outside. Take your feet wider. So we are in a variation of Malasana, yogic squat. And start moving from one side of the body to the other, opening through your hips. Now, if this is really uncomfortable and you need to stay higher, that's absolutely fine. Just find what works for you, and you can stay here, or you may wish to start lengthening one leg and then moving over to the other side. So we're opening through our hips. Use your hands to help you. Remember to move very slowly, very mindfully, And if you come across some parts in your body that feel tight, just breathe into them. Send them that feminine, nourishing and nurturing energy. Lovely. Now bring your feet closer together, and we either finish this in a yogic squat if that's accessible to you. If you have a block or a book of that size, that's a lovely variation, because you are in the squat, you are opening up through your hips, but you can also have this lift in your chest, smiling through your collarbones, opening through the heart. And obviously there isn't as much pressure on your ankles because your sit bones are supported by the block, so that might feel nice as well. Wherever you are, guys, from here, let's find ourselves back on all fours, and let's come to another down dog. So inhaling to come up, exhaling to bring heels towards the mat. And again, move here and be playful, be curious. So if you wish, you could take your feet as wide as the yoga mat and see what it does to your body. See how it feels. Maybe you want to move your hips from side to side. Just explore. And then once you've played around long enough, you may wish to come to stillness for a few breaths. Always remember to breathe. And when you're ready, move your hands back towards your feet. We are once again in a forward fold. Inhale halfway, exhale to fold, and inhale to rise all the way up and overhead. Keep your chin tucked in ever so slightly if you feel lightheaded. And then slowly open your eyes if you have them closed. I'm so used to practicing with my eyes closed in my own practice that I forget I need to open them at least sometimes when I'm with you guys, so I can see you all. Right, from here we are going to do the goddess pose. So it's a variation of Ashvatasana, horse stance, so you're probably familiar with it already. You can be anywhere you like on the mat. I'll just stay here and I'll take my feet relatively wide, but it's a comfortable wide stance. It's not the open wide like Prasarita Padottanasana. It's not as wide as that. And my feet are turning 45 degrees out, and once I start moving and opening up into the goddess pose, into another variation of yogic squat, my knees are going to be tracking my feet, my toes, my big toes. So it's very important they're always following. The knees follow the heels. I don't want to see any of this, so no falling in. We're just opening out to the sides, and depending on your hips, you can be really open or not. You can stay high, you can go low. Just do it safely. Protect your knees, protect your ankles, okay? So let's inhale our arms up, and as we exhale, we're gonna bring hands out to the cactus, so shoulder blades trying to kiss each other, and knees opening to the sides. Goddess pose. Feel the strength of the goddess. Feel the feminine, lunar energy. We all have it. Doesn't matter if you're a gentleman, you still have and need the lunar energy. And maybe you want to move here from side to side. Maybe you want to explore with your arms. Just, you know, I invite you to close your eyes and find and feel that lunar energy that's in the sky right now and in the universe. And when you're ready, you can just release any effort. And we're going into Trikonasana from here. So Trikonasana, or triangle pose. The stance and the feet, and you should be able to see my feet fairly well. Let's do this. So the feet are the same as in Warrior 2. So let's start with your right side, yeah? So you're doing the right side, I'm doing the mirror image. So your right foot is facing that way and your left foot is turning about 45 degrees in, or it could be just parallel to, in this case, what is it, a cupboard, but 45 degrees in usually. So there's a slight internal rotation in your left hip, thigh, and slight external rotation in your right thigh. And this is where you really need your block or your book. And it can be placed behind or in front of your foot. Different yoga schools teach this pose differently. For me, it always works to have it in front. So when we have our strong foundation in our feet, we always start with the feet with foundation. We can add the hands. Just need to move ever so slightly. And then we'll inhale to lengthen through the spine. As we exhale, we start just reaching towards your right. Reach until you can't go any further. And then you windmill your hands down, and then this top arm lifts, if that's okay, for your shoulder. So your left knee is soft, but your left leg is straight. And I definitely don't want you collapsing, yeah? So there's still this opening through the chest, through the heart. Your gaze can be up towards the left hand if it's good, or your top hand can go around you and find your inner thigh on the other side if you want a bit of a shoulder opening. Your neck, your gaze can also be towards your hands on the floor, on the block, if that's better for your neck. Unravel your arm when you're ready, and then inhale to come up using your torso, the strength of your legs. And let's go to the other side. So now your left foot is pointing that way, and I'm going to place my block here, and your right foot is turning inwards with the gentle internal rotation of the right hip. Now I need to move slightly this way. So we inhale, lengthen through the spine, exhale, and start just reaching forwards, going towards your left, and then windmilling your arms to find your Trikonasana, your triangle pose. Remember to keep the softness in your right knee, especially if your legs tend to be overextended like mine. So I almost have to bend my knee, otherwise it just goes the other way. Your top arm can be lifted, or maybe it wants to wrap around and find your opposite thigh. And then your gaze can be up or down towards the mat, your foot, or your block. Remember to open through the front body, through your heart. And then unravel your arm and inhale to come up using the strength of your body. Brilliant, guys. Let's go back to our goddess again. Inhaling, then exhaling to sink deeper. And And here you can take mudra, for example, your thumb and your middle finger. If it feels good, you can place your hands on your hips, you can have it in Anjali Mudra prayer position, cactus arms, you know, really any variation that you like. And then if you wish, you could lift on your toes if you want that extra challenge for your balance. And smile and feel the divine Luna energy. Lovely. Let go of any effort. You don't have to do this, but if it feels good, please do. My hips just needed this rotation right now. Right, and our peak pose for today is Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Now you may say, oh, but we did the half moon earlier. The official name for the banana shape. Yes, that was also reclining half moon, but this one is slightly different. And again, it will involve a block most likely, or a book, unless this pose is already in your practice and you're happy to just float into your half moon without the props. I will be using the block. So we'll start with on your left side. So your left foot is facing that way, and then you bring your your right foot. Your back foot, in this case it's your left leg, much closer. And what's going to happen is that I will place my block maybe about a foot away and to your right if you're doing it on the right side. And then I will bring my hands to the block and I will just start playing around with it. So there's a bend in this knee, your right knee, and just to see how it feels, just to take it off a little and bring it back. And you can stay here. It is a balancing pose as well. So we did a number of balancing practices earlier, but the full posture is when you bring you straighten your leg, your standing leg, keeping the knee soft, and then you bring your back leg with the foot flexed. You can take your arm up and overhead, and then if this is comfortable, you can find a drishti gaze in front of you, or you can close your eyes if you want to really challenge your balance. And then maybe you can let go of the block and float in your half moon. So feel free to give it a go, a few more tries if you need to, especially if it is a new posture for you and you really want to give it a go. But like all balancing postures, on some days it's easier to do them than others, but it is good to have a posture that you can work on and improve. And I find that balancing postures, for me at least, are always postures that I can keep working on them, and I enjoy doing them too. So let's try it on the other side. So now your left leg is pointing that way and your right back leg is just somewhere behind it, not too far with the block, maybe about a foot away and towards the left side. Then I will bring my hand to the block and I will just start playing around with it gently to see how it goes. And then when I'm feeling good, I will straighten my leg and then bring the back leg and open through the hip if I can, keeping that foot flexed of the leg that's floating. I will bring my top arm if it's good. Realize I need more space. And then finally, that's handy, I will float. Right, let's go here. And this is your half moon. Ta-da! So give it a few more tries if you like, guys. And once you've had enough with your half moon and you feel the lunar energy in you, I invite you to lie down for some final postures. So we'll be winding down, and for today I prepared a nice juicy stretch for you. We did a lot with our hips today, whether you noticed it or not, a lot of hip openers. So I will invite you to bring your, I'm starting with my left leg, it really doesn't matter. So it's in figure 4, left foot flexed outside of the knee, right knee in my case. And you can stay here, and maybe you can bring your left hand and just apply very gentle pressure on your left knee to open up a bit more. Or you can thread the needle and bring your hands underneath your knee or outside of your knee, so like towards your shin almost. And stay here. Just make sure that your head and neck are still on the mat, that you're not doing this, because we want head and neck relaxed. So if it's inaccessible, stay with the first option. But if it feels good and nice for your hips, enjoy this stretch. Feels lovely for me. So I hope it's the same for you guys. Gently place your foot down, and let's switch the cross of the legs. So now it's figure 4. On the other side, I can bring my right hand onto my right knee to open up a bit more. My right foot is flexed, the one that's on the left knee. Or I can thread the needle and bring my hands underneath the knee or outside of it, if that is accessible and if that is a nice juicy stretch and doesn't create any discomfort. It's never the goal of the game. We want to feel the stretch, we want to feel good and nice. And stay here for a few more breaths, enjoying the stretch and enjoying the effects of the whole practice on your body and maybe your mind as well, your energy levels. Different people feel it more strongly in different places, both in their physical body and otherwise. Let's place the foot on the mat. Bring both knees into the chest, maybe rock from side to side or going circles to massage the lower back a little bit. And then open up through your arms. They're shoulder length, and I know I don't have enough space to actually properly lengthen them, but hopefully you do. Inhale to bring your knees closer to the chest, and then exhale and go to one side. So my knees are facing towards the left, and you can bring your left hand just to rest on top of your knees, hips stacked one on top of the other. And then if it feels good, you may wish to turn your head to look the other way. So in this case, my head and my neck turn towards the right side because my knees are pointing to the left. If it's uncomfortable for your neck, then please keep it in the neutral position or facing the same way as your knees. You may feel the stretch in your lower back. You may feel some release through your hips or even in your shoulders. Wherever you feel it, it should feel nice. And you're just letting go of any muscular effort. Let's inhale to bring knees back to center and gently exhale to the other side. So both of my shoulders are on the mat, and if it's needed, you could place a folded blanket underneath your top shoulder, in this case probably your left one. My knees are going to the right and hips are stacked. So I turn my head towards the left, my head and neck, because it feels good for me and I feel a bit more of a stretch, but it's nice and gentle. If that is not the case for you guys, then please keep your head neutral or facing in the same way as your knees. Just take last few breaths here. Let's inhale the knees to center. Place the feet down. Stay here if your lower back is bothering you, and maybe bring the knees together and feet as wide as the yoga mat. Or find your Shavasana, maybe with your legs out and your hands just out to the sides. Maybe you wish to place a blanket, a bolster, pillow underneath your knees for some support for your lower back. Bring your layers, put your socks on. If you have an eye pillow, this is a good time to get it. Because if we manage to tune out the light, it's easier to go within and to focus on our body and our breath. For these last moments on your mat in Shavasana, maybe you can think about the lunar eclipse and whether you felt it at all when it happened. A lot of people report that they feel, basically differently, whether they're losing sleep, their energy is very low or high, but they notice changes in the energy levels and how they feel when we have solar eclipse or lunar eclipse. And you may not believe in any of those things, and that's absolutely fine, and you may not feel any of that, but you can just take this time to explore and be curious and just notice. Just like you notice the effects of the practice on your mind, on your body. What felt especially good. Maybe now you can go back to the intention that you set at the start of the practice about some changes you may wish to see in your life. So reinforce that intention. With the power of your thoughts. And I would like to finish this practice with a poem by Tyler Kent White. I hope you know that it takes time to grow, that there will be days when the suns fade and the moons are slow to rise. Nights where your heart will ache and the stars forget to shine. There will be afternoons when the flowers won't bloom and the birds don't sing, and the cloudy skies remain just that, cloudy skies. But there will be mornings when you wake up and your limbs have stretched, your heart has grown and the cold has left your bones. there will be a new emptiness created to carry the memories, more spaces for the ones you love, more room for the cities, warm smiles, and the glow another's name can bring. Know that the voids are simply places for something more beautiful to grow. When you're ready, guys, take a deeper breath in. Exhale fully. Bring some gentle movements into your fingertips and toes. Maybe bring one knee into the chest, followed by the other. Then roll to one side. And when you're ready, inhale yourself to lift up. And we all meet in a seated position. Inhale our arms up and overhead and bring them to the heart center. Let's thank our greatest teacher, the wisdom of our body. And thank you all for sharing this practice with me. Namaste.